Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today's look, what really inspired it is the eyeshadow, though I did something different with my brows today. So that's what I'll be showing you, how I created this beautiful look. So without wasting much time, we'll be going in straight into the process. First of all, I'll be cleaning my face, making sure it's clean. I used my regular wipe, my baby wipes, to just clean my face. I did not add anything, any water, micellar water, oil, any cleanser to it. I just used that. So after doing that, I'll be taking my skincare spray. If you have one, just spray it on your face first as a first step. Then I'll be taking my brush to blend that into my face. So I love using my brush to blend my products. It helps me to distribute them. So after doing that, I'm going to use my Dr. Rachel vitamin C serum. I'll just apply some drops on my face, and I'll also be using my brush to apply it, to blend it. Always let it dry first before going to the next step. So I use this American moisturizer. I lost the footage of where I applied it, but practically I did the same. So after going in with my moisturizer, I went in with my Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. Then I'm just going to apply everything, blend everything in with my brush. Then I'll be going in with my foundation. I use the L'Oreal and the V Beauty foundation. I mixed the two to get my shade. They're actually my shade, but I just love the texture, the feeling both gives, and you can see how lightweight they look and how flawless they are blending into my skin. So I'm going to be taking my beauty blender. Yes, I'm going to take my damp beauty blender. For your foundation to blend flawlessly, you want your beauty blender to be damp. To be able to achieve it, you just have to soak your beauty blender inside the water. Just put inside water, remove the excess water, then take a dry towel and press it. Put your beauty blender inside and press it until there is no water again, and there you have your damp beauty blender. So I'm just going to be using it to apply my foundation. You just take a little, you blend. I'm not swiping it, I'm just tapping it on my skin until I have that, that flawless look that I want to achieve. And something too that you want to take into consideration is that I always do is I don't really pack too much on my face, because I really don't want to use much foundation. Yes, too much of it these days. I really don't really want too much. And besides, this foundation was really going a long way for me already. You can see how light it is. So that's it. So you just want to be adding little by little. You don't really want to be adding too much. The smaller the merrier. So I'm just going to blend that. Make sure I blend also my neck so that it doesn't look as if I'm wearing a mask. Everything will just flow and blend to each other seamlessly. So that's what I'm just doing. So I'm just going to make sure everything everywhere is well covered before I'll go in with my blush. So I'll be taking that cream blush from my lipstick palette, my Bisham lipstick palette. That's what I'll be using as my cream blush. I'm just going to apply that at the apple of my cheek. I'm going to be using my beauty blender to apply it. I'm just going to tap it in. I'm going to do the same for the other side too. And just I applied at the back of my hand, so it's as if I've warmed the product up. So I just take my beauty blender to just tap it, collect it, and tap it on my skin. That way it helps me to control the amount I'm using. Putting it directly on my face is just going to make the whole thing difficult. So that's why I like applying it on my hand. So I'm going to take the side I used in applying my foundation to blend in between my foundation, where I applied my foundation and where I applied my blush, so that everything will blend seamlessly. So I'll be taking my Northern Beauty concealer. I'll be using that to highlight. I'm just going to put it at the back of my hand as usual to warm it up. Then I'm going to use my beauty blender to start applying those areas I want to highlight, like on my chin, the bridge of my nose to my forehead, then under my eyes. So I'm just going to be using tapping motions to make sure I distribute it, and this way also is still going to help me to control the amount I'm using. So I'm just going to take my sorry, why am I stuttering? I'm just going to take the concealer and just tap it under my eyes now. And then I'll also do the same for the other eyes. While doing this, you might just be looking up so that your concealer just gets into all the corners that you want it to get into, so as to have, a flawless finish. You just look up and you blend, though it's kind of difficult, especially when you're applying the makeup on yourself, but you can just try and manage. That's why you notice my face is already moving out of the camera frame. But I hope you're seeing the way I'm applying it. So I'm not really using much. Just taking it little by little. This method really works for me. It helps me to control the concealer, the amount of concealer I use, because when your concealer is too much, it's just going to make your under eye look too bright and too cakey at the end, because you're going to set it and all of that. So but when your concealer is just the right amount, it's just going to, everything is just going to be flawless. Like your under eyes is going to be flawless, it's not going to be looking cakey, it's not be looking as if you're wearing different shades of foundation. Like everything, your under eyes and everywhere is just going to blend together. So I'll be taking my Zaron foundation in dark shade. I'll be using that to contour the side of my nose and under my chin, just right under where I apply the blush, I mean to say. So I'm just going to take this pointed brush. I'm going to use it to apply a little at the side of my nose. Then I'll be taking my beauty blender to blend it. I love using my beauty blender to blend a lot, like to do all my blending. One, it makes my work faster, and also it does the work for me. Yes, I'm not really more of a brush person. I'm more of a beauty blender person. I don't know. At some point, I used to be a brush person, but all of a sudden I became a beauty blender kind of person. But both works well if you know how to go through. I've seen persons use the brush and they are so good. So it depends on what works for you. So I'm just going to use my beauty blender to blend that. Then I'll take the remaining one of the contour, that same foundation. I'm just going to use it just to apply it under the blush. Then you just take the side using applying your foundation or the blush, whatever, then blend in between your blush and your contour so that it doesn't look harsh and looking as if there is a line in the demarcation. I love trying to blend everything together. You don't understand, like I don't like seeing demarcations. I like the feeling of everything you're applying on your face flows in together. If you get what I mean, that's exactly what I'm doing here. Using the side, I'm applying my blush to blend everything so that there is no harsh line in between. So you can do that for you to have a flawless blend. Like it works. That method works a lot. That's the secret to most blending. Most makeup artists, they are blending. That's what they do. So I'm just going to apply this on my forehead, my hairline on my forehead, so that my forehead not be looking too big. That's what the contour does here. So I'm just going to, before setting my highlighted areas, I'm just going to blend to remove those lines under it, because your concealer must have entered and if you set it that way, it's just going to be like that. Those lines will be showing. So I'm just going to blend it out. Then I'll be taking this my powder puff to just tap on my setting powder, remove the excess at the back of my hand. You know the drill already. Then I'm just going to use it to set those highlighted areas. I'm still going to do the same for this other eye. I'm going to tap, make sure it's well, like everything it's well blended. Then I'm just going to take my powder puff again. Then I will just set the under eyes. So after setting my under eyes, make sure you're removing the excess powder so that it doesn't look as if you're baking immediately. And you want to set little, you want to apply little powder so that it doesn't appear as if you're baking and the under eyes look kind of cakey already. So I'm going to set my chin, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead. Those areas are highlighted. That's where practically I'll be applying my setting powder. So I'm just going to do that. So when I'm done with setting my under eyes, the bridge of my nose, then the my chin, and yes, after setting, I don't know, I like doing this when I'm setting my under eyes so that there's no creases. So after doing that, I'll go over to set my whole face with my normal powder, compact powder. I'll be using the Bisham powder palette. I'll be taking my shade there to set all over my face. I like using this round brush. It has full coverage, like gives me lots of coverage, and it is very dense. So I'm sure it's setting everywhere. Like that's it. Like it's wild and it's giving me full coverage, and it's very dense. Like there's no space in between the brush, and the brush is very gentle too. It's not really harsh on my skin, so it's not really have any effect on my skin. So I'm just going to set that. Set also under my neck. Remember, I applied foundation under there too. So after doing that, I'll be taking this blush palette, this Sparkle Beauty blush palette. I'll be using that to set my blush. Yes, if you noticed, if you're my subscriber, yes, this is the first time I'm having a blush palette in years. I've always been using my eyeshadow, my Jaclyn Hill Morphe eyeshadow palette as my blush. So I was like, that one was already getting old, let me get something different. So I got this. So after doing that, I'll be setting my contour area. I'll be doing that in circular motion so that it's not really too harsh. I don't really want that dark contour, you know. I just want something subtle, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to blend that on my chin. Then I'm just going to, you know, make sure everything is flowing into each other. So after doing that, I'll be going to my brows. So I'll be taking my regular hair wash. I'll be removing the excess at the back of my hand. Then I'll be using that to brush my hair, my brow hair into place. Yes, I told you I did something different on my brows today. So my brows were bushy. I don't feel like shaping them now, so I did this. I first of all used that brow gel to is it brow gel? You guys can use brow gel, but here I use hair wash, regular hair wash, nothing too thick, just something light. Then after doing that, brushing it into place, I'm going to take my brow gel. I'm going to use it to line just the tip of my brows, as you can see me doing, like the tail part. I'm not just going to start it from the beginning. This way is going to give me that natural looking brows. Like it's going to still help me achieve that natural looking brows. You can see me, I'm just going to draw the tail of it. Like sometimes I do this, especially when I'm not even wearing makeup at all. Like I'm not applying foundation on my face, I'm not doing any foundation, just my skincare. I'll just go with my skincare, do this step, then my brows will be looking good, looking nice without me doing too much. Then I just go in with my mascara and the rest. I wanted to film something like that, but I don't know, it's just in my head. But maybe one day I will just show you my routine when I'm going out and I don't feel like wearing foundation, what I just do to just look good. I will show you that. So practically, let's come back to what we're doing here. So I'm just going to draw the tail part of my brows, and that's it, and just fill it in, and yeah, voila, it's going to give me that natural looking brows. So I'm taking this my brow tint and just use it to brush my hair up, so that it gives me those strokes, those natural hairline strokes. And I don't know if you get what I'm trying to do, kind of. Yes, but that's just practically what I did with my brows. You can try this out. Like, my brows are looking so beautiful, as you're going to be saying. So I'm just going to clean the tail part of my brows. Remember, we want to achieve that natural looking brows. I don't know if you understand. So I'm just going to use this concealer to clean and highlight just the brow bone area. I'm going to do the same for these other eyes. Then after doing that, I'm just going to take a brush, a kind of a dense fluffy brush. Then I'll be using that to to blend that. I'm going to blend that area I applied my concealer. Yes, I'm just going to take the brush in circular motion, in sweeping motion. I'm just going to blend this area I applied this concealer, that is the brown bone area, to make sure that it's so that it's not going to look as if you just placed your concealer there. This particular step has really helped to elevate my concealer game when it comes to my brows. You can try it even if you're doing normal brows. Just use your brush to blend it, and you're going to see the outcome. You're going to love the outcome. So I'm going over to my eyeshadow primer. I'm going to apply that just at the middle, the center of my lid. I'll be taking that brown shade. I'll be using it to apply on the crease from the outer corner of my eyes to the inner corner, as if I'm forming a half circle, a half moon on my eyes, like I'm blending from one end to the other. I was trying to create this Hallow eyeshadow look. Yes, my shape of eyes did not really allow for it, but I know I did something there. So I took that another shade, kind of a red shade, to apply it also on top of that one. I was trying to create depth in my eyeshadow, so I'm just going to apply that in circular motion, in sweeping motion. So I'm taking this shade of purple now, and I'll be applying it on top of those colors I've been creating since. So I'm going to blend it in sweeping motion. Make sure it's well blended. Just sweep, blend it in circular motion, sweeping motion, whatever motion. Then I'm going to take that orange shade to blend the upper part of the eyeshadow, to soften the harshness on the upper part of it. Then I'm going to take my beauty blender. I'm going to tap that middle part where I applied my eyeshadow primer before I'll apply the color. It's a kind of a peach kind of pink peach nude color. I'm going to tap that in the middle of my eyes, and believe me, it was looking so beautiful. Sometimes I feel camera is not doing justice to this. I'm using my phone to record. It's not a professional camera, so but sometimes I feel like, okay, just look at it from this angle. It was really beautiful, like, honestly. So I'm just going to line my eyes. I'm not going to draw wing liner. I'm just going to line my eyes, then line my under eyes. To line my eyes, I'm using this brush. It has this tiny pointed end. I'll just apply the liner at the back of my hand, and I'll be using that to take little by little. I'm using to line my eyes. I love putting that back of my hand. Most liner, if you keep taking from the container itself, I find that it dries on time. So this way, I'm able to control that. it doesn't dry on time. And also, though when putting at the back of your eye, you want to be careful not to be taking too much, so that you're not wasting your products, if you understand what I mean. So just take a little amount. If it's not enough, you can always go back. So this brush makes line of my eyes easy because it's pointed. It's just, it just makes it easy, because it's when I'm using those flat brush, it kind of make me apply it where I don't want to. But this one is kind of exactly, let me use the word precise to say it. So it's just kind of precise. So I just use it to line the on top of my eyes. Remember I said I was not going to do wing liner, so I'm just going to line under my eyes. And after doing that, I'll go over to remove those excess powder I used under my eyes. Why I applied that powder was because I have not done my eyeshadow, so as to catch any fallouts from my eyeshadow that is only fall directly on my skin. It will be looking messy and looking out of place. So I'm just going to tap and remove the excess powder. So I'll be going over to my my lashes. I'm just going to, using my regular bond glue, I just apply it and place it on top of my natural lashes. Make sure it's in place, make sure it sticks to to my eyelid. Then I'll be doing the same for the other eyes. Just place it on top of your natural lashes, and yeah, you're good to go. I love the way lashes changes your whole makeup look. Like it's like an essential part. So I'm going to use my mascara here to blend my natural lashes to the false lashes, so that when I open my eyes, you'll not be seeing my natural lashes. So I'll be going over to my lips. So I'm just going to line my lips with this brown shade from that iMagic lip palette. Is a kind of a neutral brown, not too dark, so it gives you this natural feeling. I'm not really doing much with my lips today. I'm just going to line my lips with this brown. Then I'm going to go in with this nude kind of soft pink nude. I'll just use my brush to apply it to my lips, spread it, then blend it with my lips. Like I'm just going to do like this, then take my brush and blend it more until it's it's well blended. Let me use that word. So I'm just going to be doing that until I feel it's well blended. So I'm just going to use my brush. I'm going to take another brush to blend the edges, the brown side, in between the brown and the nude. Then after I make sure everything is blended, I'm just going to add my lip gloss. You can do whatever you want to do with your lips. But this is what, because I know my eyes are already doing a lot of talking, so I wanted my lips to be kind of neutral. So I'm just going to apply my lip gloss to finish up my look. So I'm using this flat brush to apply the lip gloss. Am I the only one that noticed that sometimes your gloss picks your lipstick? I don't know. But anyways, let's go over to my contouring of the nose. I've not set the contour of my nose, so I'm just going to take this brush, this fluffy brush. I'm going to use it to blend, to apply. I say applied. I'm going to use it to apply a dark shade of foundation powder at the side of my nose to contour the side of my nose. So I'm going to take also a light powder to set that concealer on my brow bone, so that it doesn't look oily. You can do this. Some persons don't do it, so it's not a must, but I just love doing it. So I'm just going to do that, blend it, and make sure everything is in place. Then yes, the final step, I'm going to be using this Nia setting spray. I'm just going to use it to spray this all over my face. Then I'll allow it to dry, and exchange my earrings. And yeah, this is the final look. Thank you so much, guys, for really taking your time to watch this video. If you love this video, you like it, please don't forget to drop your like and drop a comment. And if you're new here, just join the family already. I share tips on how to do your makeup and sometimes your hair. So for now, bye bye.